Hello people of YouTube, this is B3813 here with another video on my on this Mossburg bolt action 20 gauge of mine, or not of mine, but you know, of that I use. You can't have a firearm registered under your name until you're 18. But it's registered, you know. Alright. I've made a video about this. I'm not sure if I'm not sure which I'm gonna post first, you know what I'm like. But this I wanted to focus more on the actual gun, rather than bolt action shotguns in general. The other video I made was more focused just on bolt action shotguns in general and why they should always be. You know, every hunter, every prepper, every shooter, everybody needs to have one in their gun cabinet. But I just wanted to go more into this gun. These guns, I'm not exactly sure when they were made, but just by looking at it, I could probably say 70s, probably. Reason being, it has features of a more modern gun rather than something from the 40s, like the old Sears that I had was. Like, for one thing, you see how the wood kind of curves up in here? That's more of a modern feature, and how it's got the Monte Carlo stock. That's a more modern feature. The safety is a more modern safety, rather than a actual trigger block right here. It's firing pin block safety. It's a more modern safety. It just seems, so I'm guessing it's probably made in the 70s. But the finish on this gun is, I'd say, heck, 75 to 80% there. I mean, there's no rust on the metal. There is, you know, paint fading. There is some rust on the magazine, but it's not finished as well. It's not blued as well as the actual barrel and receiver. But, the trigger guard is also plastic. That's something that started coming in the early 70s, rather than the traditional just metal curved strip of metal. The wood, I'm not sure what kind of wood this is. I'm sure it's American hardwood, but it's the kind of the I don't know if that's the finish or if that's the actual grain of the wood. You see how it's kind of almost speckled, almost speculated, something, whatever you want to call it. But it's a just beautiful stock. So on this particular weapon, firearm, a little bit of the finish on the stock is actually starting to come off. Around the butt plate. But that's just coming from age and use. I did get it used. This little thing right here is missing. Not sure what that is. What goes there, but I did take this apart to put on these swivel studs. I did take the stock off, but but I'll go into that sling swivel I made here in a minute. But they're not made, but that's not holding anything in. Basically, the receiver's just being held in by that screw right there. Which it's a strong screw. It doesn't scare me at all. But the magazine, but this particular firearm, it has been safety checked. It is unloaded. I keep all my firearms unloaded, as you can see. This particular version, this particular model of bolt-action shotguns has a clip magazine, which I know a lot of the newer ones started doing after all the tube ones. Honestly, I like the clip better. Most of them, if not all of them, hold 2 in the clip plus 1 in the chamber. But I like the clip better than the tube for 2 reasons. First reason, it makes the gun a lot lighter, because this weighs a lot less than a tube that holds 4 to 6 shells. So it makes the gun a lot lighter, a good ½ pound to a pound lighter, depending on the model. And it's less bulky, which also, you know, the grip, the foreend's not as big, which also less weight. If you're a rabbit hunter like me and like to walk a lot, you know, you need a light gun, even though you're going to get a little bit more kick, but what the heck. This magazine seems to feed fine. I cleaned it up real good, oiled it. Seems to work fine. Everything's here, except for like that bolt or whatever went there, like I said. But this safety right here, if you look, that's actually what it is. That thing right there. I'm trying to, yeah. If you look. Now, I'm not sure what that actually does in the gun. I think it's just a firing pin block or something. I'm not sure, but trying to think if there's anything else. This gun, trying to think how many inches the barrel is. I never did measure it. Give me just a second. I'll go grab a tape measure. Be right back. Okie doke. Sorry about all that solid 20 seconds of staring at my carpet. Alright. Starting from the end of the chamber where the shell goes in, it's probably right back here behind this rear sight. Probably gonna have to put the camcorder down here for a second. I'll actually let you look at the wood. Starting back there, of course I'll start right in front of it. It's got a 25-inch barrel. Now, if you actually start at the chamber, it's a 26-inch, or 26.5. But I'm not exactly sure where it officially starts. I think it starts there on bolt-action guns, if I'm not mistaken. Because if you look, the bolt, again, when you close it, I'm trying to open it, it's hard to open with one hand. It actually does go into the, well, that's only about a half an inch, though. So, yeah, it's a 26-inch barrel. I guess is what it would boil down to on legal standards, I guess. When I was looking for these, I actually looked at 3 of them, counting this one. One of them, I forgot what it was, but it was a clip-fed 20-gauge bolt-action. But it had been cut off, like right here, so the choke was gone, so I just forgot about that one. But and the other one, like I said in the other video, had a poly choke, but it only took the 2 3/4-inch shell. This one, however, will take the 3-inch magnums. And right here I have 2 different 3-inch shells right here. A 1 1/4 ounce lead. It's kind of faded. I've had these for a while. Lead turkey loads. I need to just shoot all these and buy some more because these are starting to actually rust a little bit. I've had them so long. But 1 1/4 ounces, which this is like a 12-gauge high brass game load shoved into a 20-gauge shell. So you could actually hunt squirrels with this. Granted, it would be a little bit expensive. But you can buy this Federal Prairie Storm 3-inch number 6-shot 1 1/4 ounce for like $20, $15, something like that. I'm thinking about doing that. But, because I like 1 1/4 ounces a shot for squirrel. But, this is 5-shot. You can get it in 4, 5, or 6, which is what's recommended for squirrel anyway. So that makes a good little squirrel load if you want the power of a 12-gauge in a 20-gauge. This makes a good option. Again, expensive, but a good option. Now right here I just have a, it's not as faded, Winchester Super X. That was a Federal, by the way, them turkey loads. Winchester Super X Steel Shot, number 4s. This is the last one of these I have. I actually, along with trading one of my old 20-gauge single shots, I traded a box of Steel Shot with it, and this must have just got lost in my gun cabinet. As of right now, just any loose ammunition I keep in this. It's a chain box from Walmart. I got a tow chain in. Right now, the loads I've been using for squirrel, and I took out a squirrel with one of these this morning, is Suprema 7.5 shot, just standard field loads, 7/8 ounce. These seem to work pretty good through it. And that's the cheapest stuff you can buy. Literally, that is the cheapest stuff I've seen. $5.88 for a box of it at Walmart, $25. Like I said, I added this sling and the swivels. It's a quick release swivels, just a cheap Walmart sling. Has glue on it. I tried to glue a shot shell holder on it at one time, but that didn't work. But it's just a cheap Walmart sling. You can get these slings for about $7. You can get these stud kits. Again, this gun did not come with studs, but you can get the stud kit from Walmart and get the ones that say bolt-action shot rifles, for bolt-action rifles. And it'll actually fit any single-shot shotgun or bolt-action shotgun with wooden stocks. But what you do, you just drill a little hole. I think it's a 5/32 or 5/32. As deep as the stud will go in, then just screw it in. It's got a little rubber spacer in there. And do the same up here. This one's a little bit shorter, though, because it's narrower. But this is a real good gun. Like I said, I've had a Sears and Roebuck J.C. Higgins 12-gauge bolt-action with a tube-fed magazine. And what I didn't like about it was when you pulled the bolt back, which I'm sure it was just the model. I mean, not the model, mine. It would actually stick, and you couldn't push it forward. But in that one, like I said, it was tube mag. You had to open the bolt and then load it, which I find a good safety feature. That way you know it's unloaded when you're loading it. But this one, like I said, all bolt-action rifles, shotguns, rifles, whatever, all bolt-action guns are always going to be built strong, and they're always going to be next to single shots, the most reliable firearm you can buy. So if you want a good reliable shotgun, repeating shotgun, you cannot go wrong with a bolt action. And if you can find one of these Mossburgs, I recommend them because they're good guns. Made in the USA. Now Mossburg makes stuff out of Brazil and imports them. It's cheaper that way, but when these were made, they were made in the USA. This one actually has a notched rear sight. No, it is not a rifled bore, but it does have a notched rear sight for shooting buckshot and slugs, I guess. This particular one's got a full choke. I'm not sure what else it was available in, if anything. A lot of these you can just find them in full choke, and that's it. My Sears was a full choke, and it was a 12 gauge. But honestly, the full choke is a little bit much on squirrels, in my opinion. I mean, this thing's got a good full choke in it. It'll throw a nice top pattern, but that's also good for turkey. That's the best choke for turkey. So but I like the full choke. But these are these quick release studs, swivels. Excuse me. These are the swivels. Them are the studs. But it's a good gun. I highly recommend it. I give the gun itself, from a 1 out of 10 rating, probably a 9. And if I had to rate it from the 4 ratings, poor, good, very good, or excellent, I would probably rate it somewhere between very good and excellent. Probably excellent, yeah. Yeah, I definitely rated excellent. But like I said, highly recommended. If you can find it, get it. You can get them for about $150, give or take. Well, I guess that's it. Please comment, please subscribe, and God bless.